minute to get it set up. Okay. And hello everyone. I had to cancel my meetings on Wednesday last minute, and Monday was a holiday, so I haven't talked to you guys in a while. And so what I wanted to do was, um, I wanted to come on and share with you guys something that just happened. It's happened many times in my business. And I thought about this, that, hey, this is something that is going to happen in your business, whether you realize it or not. And so I wanted to talk about it. Okay, so the subject said, why is it important to save reports? And I'm actually going to be talking about a specific report because I got an awesome, this surprise message from a team member that joined, let's see, April, May, June, July, 4 months after I joined last, in 2011. And she actually grew her business pretty fast. She went all the way up to a superstar consultant. And circumstances changed, life changed, and she became just a hobbyist for a long time and led her team, which was good. Just wasn't looking to do anything bigger than she already had grown it to. And so over time, she actually ended up canceling. And that was several years ago. So she was in the business at least a few years, I would say, maybe 4 years. And she messaged me today saying that she misses Scentsy and she wants to reinstate. So what does this have to do with reports? So early on in my business, I took the liberty of going to Callie Smith, Callie Smith, our upline superstar director, her house. She was driving distance from me at the time, and so I took about an hour and a half drive to go spend the day with her. And I just wanted to see what she did in her business, what type of things I should be doing. And one of the things she shared with me was stating downline reports. And the reason behind it is that, for this very specific reason, is that once you have a team member, if they cancel, they keep their ID. So if they reinstate, 10 years later, like she's doing, you will have a record of their consultant ID number. It's very likely they're not going to remember their consultant ID number. So if you can give them as much information as possible, which you will also be able to provide an email address that they use that was connected to their workstation. Now, if they don't have access to that email address to get in there and retrieve their password, because it's very likely they won't remember their password to their workstation if they don't have a consultant, if they don't remember a consultant ID. Okay, so if you create a habit now of just uploading your entire downline of everything of information possible on them, you are going to be able to pull that information up just like I was. I was able to look back, several years. She canceled, I think, back in 2016, 15, maybe even 14. And so I went back to 2014. Yeah, that's the file I opened. And I opened the full downline report, and I was able to sort it. There she was, copy, paste the email address and the ID. And so now the only thing that's left is for her to be able to access her email address. Now, we know that if she clicks, I forgot my password, it'll email to that email address. If she can't access it, she doesn't know that password, she doesn't know how to get into there. She will email account services at Scentsy.com, right? But most people are able to say, I forgot my password and reset their email address. And they normally have still access to an email address because it basically is yours once you have it, right? Even if she doesn't use it anymore, She has been married since, so her last name is different, so she may not use that email address anymore. But if you provide the email address and she's able to say forgot my password in the email service, like Gmail, long story short, she'll be able to access it and change her email if she doesn't use that one anymore. Okay? But you can't help that long process unless you have that information. So one thing, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. What I did was take off, is what I took off names. So let's see, I'm going to open this up a little bit. Okay, so every beginning of the month, I do this. This is, I'm going to show you. I click this right here. This is going to select everybody. Okay. Click choose visible columns, and I'm going to click add all and click OK. All right. And so what it's going to do is take a minute because it's generating a lot of information. Even my download report, it may not take as long with you. So every single column that is available is going to show up, and you click that top button, and then you're going to click export to Excel. And one thing, it took me a lot of years to get this structure and kind of system down, is you want to have a specific file that you know you put these reports in, so full downline reports, okay? So I'm in my spreadsheets, and then I always have downline reports, and then I will have my, let's see, all right, full monthly reports. So this is, oh, that's front month, sorry, that's, a full monthly downline. Okay, downline is everybody in your downline. And you can have a team report, whatever you want. So this specific computer goes back to 2017, and then I have another computer with a hard drive with all those prior. So I just got lucky, basically, that the last report that I pulled was 2017, and oh, sorry, she was 2017, so it is later. Anyways, so you do want to break it down by year so you know. And so we're in 2021. And then what I do is I need the month. So this month is June 2021. And then I know that I can pull that report with all that information. And so it pulls up as a zip file. And so what I do is I open it up, and then what I'm going to do is actually stop sharing so you guys, because it's going to show me all the information that was hidden before. But anyways, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to rename it so it is the actual file into that same report. And then I'll just delete that zip file from the folder. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so I just delete all the zip files because that's just gonna bulk up your crowd up your computer if you just keep keeping those zip files in your folders. So I just deleted that. Anyway, so there's also just a lot of things that you could use that for. If you wanted to do a blast email for people that aren't around anymore, this is another actual report that I do that is monthly. So if I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps that I do. So let me go back to my workstation really fast and show you what I would do, but I need to take the names off so you guys don't see who the people are. So what I'm doing is I'm basically doing it, taking the name off the columns. I choose visual. Okay, so let's share again. Let me see, are you guys still watching? Oops, that's the wrong one. Wait, see. So this could be, there we go. And she's actually messaging me right now, the girl that I was telling you that inspired me to do this. Okay. So, what I also do every single month, at the beginning of the month, I will start an additional filter option, and I will go through who it will cancel. So I'm going to put yes. Now, in case you don't know, this lose downline report, this is not, they're not going to cancel, but they will lose their downline, meaning they have to put in at least 200 every 4 months. Still, even today, June 2020, that we don't have a minimum, but as a leader, you should be at least putting in 400, 200 every 4 months, and you're not getting paid as a leader, so it really doesn't make sense to keep a downline, but that is their minimum. So that is who you're going to be able to pull a report for, to let them know, like, hey, you're about to lose your team. So all these people, there's 24 people in my group that are about to cancel. And so you will see will cancel down this whole list. And so what I do with them is I do the same thing. I go choose visible column, add all, okay. And I wait for it to generate. And then I will do the same thing. I will upload it, and I have a will cancel by month file. And after the month is up, I go back and I see who, I see who didn't cancel, okay? And then I will take them off the list and then basically change that specific file to canceled, and then the month that they canceled. So let's do downline reports. And where are we at here? See, will cancel by month, full spreadsheet. And then we're in 2021, and I will do June 2021. So that just gives me all their information as a whole to, so if they do cancel, I still have all their information because it won't be in the computer anymore, in the workstation. You could go back to the month that they were around, and it'll give you a certain amount of information. So again, what I'm doing is I am unsharing because I don't want you to see the people's names, but like I said, is I will go and I will save as again, and to that, okay, so I always like to make sure I'm in the right folder. So it's as organized as possible. Like I said, I learned the hard way, just saving things to different files, thinking I'll remember, and you just, I would start with files all the time. So just try to be as organized as possible and have a file for specific things. And then, like I said, you can break it down by year, just kind of narrows it down for you. If you, the consultant may remember when they canceled. But then you can, like if Sarah, for instance, the one that wants to come back, if she remembered specifically when she canceled, I would just go to the will cancel or the canceled file in that year, and I would find her. So it just, like I said, it just makes your life a little bit easier. It helps you support them more. It makes them feel like, wow, this person really takes care of their business and them, and makes it as simple as possible for them to come here. So it also is just great to be able to, over the years, just kind of see the growth and all the people that have come through your business. And with that will cancel specific work or cancel, because you take off the people that did, and then now it's just a canceled spreadsheet. You can what I do is I upload it to an email. I use Conscious Contact. I've been using it since 2012. I use it for everything. I have an auto email. It's called autoresponder, and so I put their names on the autoresponder, and it'll shoot out a will miss you email, like where can we go? And then after they cancel, if they got that email, it'll automatically send them another email saying they're eligible to reinstate and give them the information how to reinstate. And I get so many people it's not they don't want to be a part of Scentsy, it's just that time was hard, whatever's going on in their life, they couldn't get their 200 in for whatever reason, and they wanted to be a part of Scentsy, and they just reinstate with the split because they know their ID, they know their, well, the thing is I don't have their ID in there because it's for a list of people, but I tell them to save their ID, their consultant ID number in the We'll Miss You email when they first leave. We'll say you're eligible in 4 months. You will be getting an email from me reminding you you're eligible. And so please make sure that you save your consultant ID number and write down your password to your workstation and remember what your email was. And so when they get that email 4 months later, they're like, okay, we got it. They send it to the workstation and they reinstate with the split, like I said. So the more simple you make it for people, yes, you as the leader may do a little bit more work, but here's the thing. That's why there's so much opportunity financially in this business, because the people that are willing to do a little bit more to serve other people, to make their lives more simple, that's why we get such a great opportunity to make so much money in this business. So again, it really doesn't take a lot of time on your end. It's steps, but once you get a system that this is what you do, you're able to make it very simple for other people. So if you have questions, if you're kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about, Jess, you're still confused, but you want to know why I do this, and here's the thing, it may not make sense to you today, but I'm just going to be honest with you. Your business may not be at the point that you feel like it makes sense, but if your mindset is that you're going to be here 10 years from now, you are going to think yourself 10 years from now, even 5 years from now, or 2 years from now, because people are going to come and go in your organization, and it's just a lot easier to retain them and also get them back if you have as much information as possible for them. All right. I hope this helps. I hope this inspires you to start taking, some of your reports and utilizing them. And it takes a couple seconds, guys. If you have a checklist, this is what I do on the beginning of the month. Do I do it every single month on the first one? But I have a checklist that I eventually need to get done in the first week. And what I also do is I upload everybody that's in my downline freshly into my constant contact email list for my full downline. So I make sure that everybody that joins prior is on that list. They get my birthday emails, they get my Scentsy emails. And so everything's kind of updated every month. It's a system. And you have to create one for yourself. Again, you may not want to do as much as I do. Obviously, because I'm doing it, you don't necessarily do it because you could ask me to help you and I'll find those reports for you. That's absolutely fine. However, if you're in the mindset that you want to be where I am or further one day, you're going to want to do these things too. So the things that you set up now while your business is smaller, those systems that you implement is going to be a lot more systematic eventually, and you could do them like the back of your hand, and it takes you a couple of seconds, every month to do it, but it really does benefit in the long run. I hope that helps, and I hope you guys have a great day.